Hey, Gator Nation, welcome back to an all-new special episode of the Respect Our Decision podcast. Guys, tonight we got a special treat for you. With us, the newest quarterback commit of our Florida Gators, Tramell Jones Jr. Tramell, how you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you?
We are fantastic, man. We are glad to have you on. As always, guys, I'm your boy Hirsch. With me, the hype man Wes.
What's up? What's up? How y'all guys doing? Go Gators.
And CJ, the man McCann.
What's going on, guys? Victory Pod this week.
Victory Pod, guys. We got a lot to talk about in this show. Obviously, we're gonna kick it with Tramell for a second here. Obviously, the Gators have got two other commitments since his commitment. I mean, it's been a busy few days here, and we got the big win on Saturday against LSU. Things going in the right direction. We got Lane Kiffin and company coming to town this weekend, trying to make it 2 in a row against the ranked teams, close it out on a win streak. But we're gonna jump right into it, man. Tramell's here with us. We're gonna talk to him for a minute and let him go about his way. Do make sure to check this out on YouTube, guys. Smash that like button for Tramell, man. Hit that like button and show him how happy you are. He's committed to the Gators. Leave him a comment down below. I'll forward it to him. He can check those out going forward. But until then, guys, we're gonna jump right on into it. Tramell, obviously, man. I know you were committed to FSU for a while, and we're not going to talk about that. We're here to move forward. What was it about the Florida Gators that finally made you say, you know what, this is home? I know we've been in your ear for a minute.
Yep. You guys have been in my ear for a long, long time. I mean, you guys offered me before FSU did. So they've been in my ear since I was a freshman, staying consistent, but staying respectful of Florida State. You guys are just there since the beginning. And then being there on my OV, being around the guys, seeing the camaraderie, seeing the brotherhood, the want to fight, the want to get better. I think that just really sealed the deal because I want to be around the guys that want to be great also.
Absolutely. I know I was talking to your dad, and I'm going to let these guys get in some questions too because I know they can't wait. But I'm going to kind of just roll the ball here. I talked to your dad a little bit the other night, and he said that you got to hang around. Obviously, DJ Lagway, this is his team right now, and we all know that. And nobody's, disputing that. But you got to hang around DJ, and I know that getting to spend time with him and see what kind of person he is and what kind of leader he can be, and a mentor to you, even though you're not, not much age difference there, But I mean, I know that meant a lot to you as well.
It did. We jived very well. I mean, we started at the dinner. We were talking a lot, and he was asking me about my injury, what happened this season, Elite 11, which he's all been through those things, so we can relate. I got to spend time with him after the dinner, go out with him. I mean, you see us walking around. We're going to a food truck, and people are looking at him like they've seen a ghost. But it was good to see him. He's so level-headed, calm, cool, collected guy. People levitate around him. People will levitate to him. And it was cool to be around him. I think we jived very well. We're going to be great teammates. So,
before I get to West, and you brought it up, so I didn't want to let it get away. How's that ankle doing? I know you've been rehabbing.
I did. I started rehab about 2 weeks ago. It's been going good. I started walking last week. My really first time walking was at the game on Saturday, so I got to do a lot of walking, a lot of stretching, and doing whatever I do on the ankle. But it's been great. It's been a great process for sure.
Well, that's good. I know it felt good to get out there and get around, and I've been through that. I tore my ACL my senior year of high school, and I don't wish that on anybody, man. That's a rough way to end your high school career, but at least you've got, the future to look forward to. Wes, what you got to ask for Tramell here?
Yeah, I have a couple questions to start off with. The first one is, I guess fans probably want to know, will you be like an early enrollee? Will you be coming in January, or are you coming in the summer? How's that going to go for you?
I will be an early enrollee. Been setting that up for a long time. Just finished all my classes. Pretty much just finishing English, which is in school, and I'll be done in December, and then be enrolling January 12th.
Wow, that's a day after my birthday, so that's a good birthday present for me, man. But that's good news though. That's like when you think about it, it's not even like 2 months away now. It's like a month and a half away. So you'll be on campus here shortly. I know when we knew we were trying to get you to commit early on. I know we were recruiting you like Hirsch was talking about early in the process. thought we might have had a shot before the season and all that stuff. But when you committed, I'm pretty sure Gator fans went and started looking at your highlights. Like, who is this kid we're getting? But tell them about the guy that's off the field. What are the Gators getting in you as a young man?
Someone that's big in faith, someone that puts everything in God, put God first in everything, and that's why I'm here today, and that's why I'm a Gator. Someone that's just calm, wants to be a vocal leader, can't be a vocal leader, but knows how everyone responds to certain things, and that's another part of being a leader. Someone that's just can jive with everyone, someone that can have pretty much just a friendship to be there. So that's the kind of guy I am.
Cool. I have some more, but I'm gonna let CJ get his in. And
Yeah,
just get one more
CJ.
time.
CJ
Go
been
ahead.
sitting there being all quiet.
I just wanted to, we know about the program. We're all fans. We've been there. You go to the stadium and you see those three statues of Heisman Trophy winners. They're all quarterbacks. What does that mean to you about the University of Florida? Is the expectation that comes with being the signal caller for the Gators?
I mean, I think it's a big expectation. I mean, when I see those statues, I'm like, I want to be next.
Especially a kid out of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Zero. Yeah, I want to be next. I want to be the next statue up there for sure. And I mean, that comes with hard work, dedication, consistency. So those are all the things that I can do, and those are all the things that I will do to be that next Heisman Trophy winner.
And speaking of, admiring players, are there any players that you like to emulate, like a quarterback that you study his film specifically, or do you just take bits and pieces from here and there?
I like C.J. Stroud, delivery, accuracy, footwork, the way he can deliver the ball downfield, mechanics, everything like that. But I don't want to be like any other quarterback, just be myself. But I just take bits and pieces from him.
Is there anybody on the roster that you're like, man, I cannot wait to get on campus and play football with that guy?
I would definitely say,
There's a lot to choose from.
It's a lot to choose from.
Just give me a few names.
Can Aiden Mizell outrun your deep ball?
I would definitely say Mizell. I mean, he's a speedster. I know Vernell's coming with me no matter what, so I'm going to say Vernell.
We didn't even bring that up.
Yeah, I know he's coming with me, so I'm going to say Vernell. And then,
how's it going working on that other guy that you currently play with? I know you can't say a lot about that, but I know you have to be in Jamie's ear. And for those who don't know,
people are going to want to know.
We're talking about Jamie French, who plays on the same team with Tramell.
I am in his ear. I mean, I had class with him today. He saw what I had on today. He's been to see it a lot.
Yes, sir.
And, so
Texas is a long way from home, man.
A long way from home. I mean, he's just a drive away. You got to take a couple flights to get back home from Texas. But I'm in his ear all the time. But Jamie's going to do what's best for him at the end of the day.
Right. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
He's not going to let anyone dictate where he goes and how he feels. So at the end of the day, he's going to do what's best for him. So.
Absolutely. And you can't expect anybody to do, you always want to see kids do what they feel in their heart is best for them. I know, like, again, I keep harking back to it. I spoke with your dad the other night, and we talked a little bit about it. And he said, I told Tramell to pray about it and to do what he felt was best in his heart, has the best decision for him, and at the end of the day, I mean, that's what you want all these, I want my own kids to do at the end of the day. So I'm glad that I know Coach Napier is got a lot of scrutiny around him right now. And it, that's the landscape of college football. But what was it about Coach Napier that really put you at ease?
What really put me at ease, I mean, I seen him. So I went to practice in spring, saw DJ Lagway, saw how the quarterbacks worked, saw how Coach O'Hara worked with the quarterbacks and Coach Napier because he's very closely involved. And then seeing DJ come out in the LSU game, hurt hamstring, and he was able to be versatile in his play calling. He was able to keep DJ in the pocket and deliver the ball accurately. And I think that's really what really set it off. And then Coach Napier is just calm, cool, collected guy, and I just really love that about him. And, I mean, he was really the main recruiter in my recruiting process for the Gators, so I think that was the biggest thing for sure.
Absolutely. Wes, you got more questions?
Yeah, I got one more. A former Florida Gator coach, defensive coordinator, Dan Mullen, he coaches my NFL team. And he says this all the time, so this is a question I have for you. He says Yeah, Dan Quinn. He says that players have a superpower, and what he's trying to do is put that player in their best position to showcase their superpower. So, as a player, what would you say like your superpower was? I know you said you talked about C.J. Stroud and his accuracy and all and footwork and all those things. So, what is something that you say that is your strength, your superpower?
Putting the ball where only my player can get it. I mean, I think accuracy is my number one thing. So I mean, if we throw the ball, I'm gonna put the ball where only my receiver can get it. I'm gonna put the ball anywhere on the field. You really want it, and I think that's just my superpower.
I went back today. I was looking at some of your highlights, and that's really what stands out is you throw a really, really tight spiral. And I know that was on some of your Elite 11, you know, how they do the reviews on you after each day at the Elite 11. That was consistently what was the one thing they said was that you threw a real tight ball where the receiver could catch it. And, you know, there's something to be said for that at your age, man, to be able to deliver that kind of pass.
Yes, sir.
CJ?
What would you say? Like, you know, you were there for the LSU game. What was the most, you know, standout moment from the stadium, the atmosphere, just being in the swamp? What did you? Was there ever a point where you were just looking around like, wow, this place is special? And what kind of was that moment for you?
I would say it was first quarter, third down. I think LSU was backed up, and I tried to say something to my mom. I was wow. I was like, this is crazy. I can't even hear myself talk. And then I think it was when they shut the lights off and everyone was singing, and I was like, this is exactly where I want to be at.
You don't quite understand it until you're there in that moment and how loud it really is in that stadium. Like nothing prepares you for it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
CJ, you got anything else?
No, I think that's it for me. And I just wanted to try to get the fan out of him. You know, I wanted to know how he felt about the team because people love our players to love our team. And you know that means a lot to us. You know, we're going to support you 110%. We're going to be behind you when you're wearing our colors, you know, forever. So we really appreciate you being able to open up with us and talk about things that we share similarities on. You know, how we feel about the swamp, because that is an important place to all of us. And we want that to be, you know, shared with our players as well. So we really, really appreciate you taking the time to really respect it as a place, respect the school, the team, and really understand how we all feel about it. And we love that you feel the same way.
Yes, sir.
Tramell, do you play college football 25?
I do play college football 25. I do.
College football 26 comes out. What's Tramell Jones Jr.'s ranking on college football 26?
They're probably gonna have me at like a 68 overall, 70.
I put everybody on the spot with that, man. I have to ask you. We had Justice Boone on earlier before the season started, and I was asking Justice the same question. And it's just, you know, you always want to ask because, you know, it's a whole new ball game to be able to get on there and play as yourself. Are you going to play as yourself? Are you going to bench DJ Lagway for Tramell Jones Jr.?
I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to. I'm a 60 overall. I can't even throw a 5-yard out.
No, man. See, at least you're honest. Got to put you on the spot with it. Tramell, man, we appreciate you so much joining us tonight, man, taking some time out of your schedule to be with us just to talk and let Gator fans know what kind of young man they're getting on off the field. And we sure do look forward to seeing you grow in this system and progress and play under DJ Lagway. And, I mean, I know you're not looking to come in and take that spot right off the rip, but you know, we've seen it with DJ this season. Also, you're only, you know, you're one pulled hamstring away. It might be you out there on the field. So I know you're going to be ready and ready to give your all for Gator Nation.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Trying to go in there, compete. I think that's the number one thing. You want to go in there like you want to be the starter. And I think that's just going to push him and push me together and push all the other quarterbacks in the quarterback room. So I'm going to be prepared like I'm going to be the starter every week. Regardless if I know DJ is going to be out there, I'm going to be supporting him and doing what he does. So I'm always going to be ready, regardless.
Great mindset.
Amen to that, man. That's awesome. Tramell, thank you so much for joining us, man. We look forward to it, like I said, and hopefully we'll get you back on here sometime next season while you're a Gator quarterback and chat it up with you one more time.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
it. Best of luck to you, young man.
Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Awesome.
What a great young man.
Yeah,
fantastic young man.
Mature
What a
for his
great
age.
Like I said, I talked to his dad the other night. His dad was a tremendous man to talk to. You could tell the commitment to family that they have and the commitment to their faith. Just a true good young man that we're going to get, and will be a leader, I believe, in the locker room as well. And that's not all we got. Like we said, as we got Tramell on the show, we got 2 other commitments since he committed Sunday. We got Stephon Shivers, nose tackle, committed. And then today, Daniel Pierre-Louis, who's a interior offensive lineman. We flipped him from Florida State. Now I understand both these gentlemen, young men, are 3-star commitments. They're not going to move a lot of people's goalposts, but I know a lot of us just, we care that we're getting some new Gators in the family. Stephon Shivers obviously is a gigantic nose tackle. He weighs about 350 to 360, whatever sites you're cruising around on. We've talked about it on this show for 2.5 years about the need for nose tackles. I don't believe that we're in a position to turn any nose tackle away if he wants to come to the University of Florida. So we'll take it. Always good to flip commitments from your rivals and getting Daniel Pierre-Louis. So, and the word in the streets is there's more commitments on the way. I don't know when those commitments are going to drop. I'm not privy to that, but there are a lot of irons in the fire right now. So we're going to have to hang tight. Hopefully we get some more even by the next time we talk. But with that saying, man, we haven't been able to talk, guys. Life has been so busy. I mean, I got married. Then we got sick. Got sick coming off our honeymoon. Life has been crazy.
Yeah.
But, there's been a lot of things that have happened since then. Obviously, the Georgia game didn't go the way we would hope. DJ got hurt in the Texas game. We won't even bring that up. I believe that was just a complete blip in the matrix. And then we get back here home. DJ, obviously not 100% healthy. I mean, like they talked about, they had to put him in an apparatus where he can't even run. And the young man puts on what I think is a very impressive show, given that you want to talk about the one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. And he went out there and kicked some ass. And not just DJ. Let's not just put this all on DJ Lagway or Elijah Badger. The defense had one of the more impressive showings, and I understand they gave up a lot of third downs. I understand that. And somebody will say that. Well, impressive is not giving up 75% on third downs. They got 7 sacks against an offensive line that had only given up 6 coming into the game. Tyreek Sapp, animal. Shamar James rushing the quarterback, animal. George
Gums, my man.
CJ being on the George Gums bandwagon before the season even began.
Tyreek Sapp.
I said Tyreek Sapp.
Okay.
That was the first name I said.
Tyreek Sapp.
Bridges played a heck of a game.
Bridges
Gates continued. I mean, Bridges moved from his position to corner and played a really solid game. Now, it's obviously you're starting your backup, your number 4 corner, and a guy converted over from nickel. It's not much of a conversion. I understand Bridges has played corner before, but he hasn't been playing there all season. So that's not ideal against any team, but they made it work. And I understand LSU's got their own list of problems, but most people were picking LSU to win that ball game, especially given off of what we had shown against Texas. DJ, the uncertainty around DJ. Jaden Baugh is a man. He continues to be a man. So guys, just as we keep it moving here, Wes, what were your thoughts on the game? I know you didn't get to watch it live because your son had his championship game. What were your thoughts as you went back and watched that football game?
Um, just the effort. I kind of like recap the last 3 weeks. I know we don't want to talk about the Texas game, but even the Georgia game, you saw the effort, and that's the thing that and you can maybe contribute some of it to being a rivalry game. But we've seen rivalry games where teams just get mollywopped, where it's just no contest, where the team is quit on the coach, and I think the Texas game, the morale was kind of down because they felt like DJ not being there, that there was not really a shot to it to win, and that there's no excuse for the poor performance. But I'm just saying, you're only human, and you saw they said, and I think I told you guys when we were talking about when we were chatting, even though we wasn't on the pod, that I thought out of Ole Miss and LSU, I thought this would be the game because of the rivalry, because of the hatred for LSU. Because of how close these games seemingly always are, no matter if LSU can't win. Coach O gets fired. There's smoke coming out of the swamp, and we can't hit a field goal. And Kyle Trask is playing, and Kyle Pitts is not playing, and we don't know why. It's just LSU, and we have those games with LSU. Tyreek Cleveland catches a goal ball and win with his goal line stop. It is what it is. I know we look at Georgia and Florida State and Tennessee as rivalries, like our most important rivals, but LSU is right there for the last decade and more. But I love the effort from the guys. DJ was awesome to not be able to move and be, which probably in the long run might benefit
Absolutely.
someone because you know you can't move and you just got to sit there and be able to move like a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning in the pocket. No, like the things that they're able to do in the pocket, and that was awesome. You talked about the 7 sacks and they only had six coming in. Nobody could have foreseen that. Turnovers, guys. I always ask for turnovers, and we had that against.
Wes has lost his mic. Wes has gone into the.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we got him. He's back.
Okay.
He had a short circuit. He's okay.
All right. So
Finish that thought. You're good. Uh-oh. He's having an issue. All right, CJ, I guess you're going to take it over from here. Wes is on a Wes's mic is muted him. Wes, you figure it out, buddy. We'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, I'll fill in for a second. No, but just to kind of piggyback on what Wes was saying about DJ Lagway being able to move in the pocket, even with the hamstring injury, you've basically taken an entire part of DJ Lagway's game away from him, not being able to call designed runs, not being able to scramble out of the pocket, to get 4 or 5 yards if the pocket breaks down. But DJ was able to really move in the pocket. Kind of like, Wes gave some examples, but it was almost Dan Marino-esque of a guy that would just, the whole thing's collapsing on him and he could step up, step to the left, step to the right, and deliver an accurate ball. I think the only thing that I would nitpick with DJ's game is, and I think Shane Matthews talked about this, is just that intermediate stuff has got to get better. The long ball is beautiful. We want to see the deep shots taken, but he's got to get that 4 or 5 yard, pass down. He's got to, sometimes look for the check down a few more times, things like that, and he'll get it. And I think he'll be fine.
I think in some of those instances, and I'm sorry to cut you off, I think some of it also is the short game route concept has just been weird this year. Like I know the guys on the podcast that break down the games kind of say the same thing. Just a lot of hitches and curls, and they're always the same 3 routes, and it's just not a lot of differential where you've got choice. Like the defense sees it and they break down on it immediately. Like it's consistent.
They don't do and that podcast says it, but we've been saying it as well. They don't do any like the route we see every team in every, even high school, mesh routes where was it offensive pass interference where the guy just runs into the other guy and what he's not supposed to, but he runs his man. They're like, we don't do things like that to free our guys open on those things. So
well, and Also, with DJ being hurt, you can't run as much play action, and that limits you as well in the short game. But back to CJ's other points there.
Yeah, but no, I think he'll work on that, and it'll just get better. And two, it's just going to have to. I think too, he's still a freshman. He's still learning. I think the playbook is still kind of limited. I don't think it's all the way open. We do see concepts where DJ only has one receiver in the concept, where we're like, none of these other guys matter. We've seen that a few times where it's like this guy or nobody. It's Badger or throw it away. So I don't know how much of that is DJ making one read or there only being one read. If you break that stuff down, but he played a great game. Um, the offensive line probably played their best game since Billy's been here. To not give up any sacks on a guy who was limited. And that's where we've been begging for. We were wanting this kind of game. When Graham Mertz was in the pocket, it was in kind of the same boat. It was like you got to keep him off his back, and they were able to do that with DJ. Now DJ still could move a little bit in the pocket, but the threat of DJ taking off and running was completely eliminated. They didn't even do that. He wasn't able to. So the defense was basically just all in on him, and the offensive line was ready for the challenge. And I commend the heck out of those guys for playing a really, really good ball game. I think that this was probably one of the most well-rounded played games in the time. Honestly, if you have Devin Moore and you have Jason Marshall, I don't think it's this close. I think that they're able to do a better job in coverage. You not give up so many of those long third down plays.
You get to be a lot more aggressive in your coverage.
Right. I think that we saw a lot of zone stuff, just trying to play and keep it in front of you because you didn't want to get beat deep because you knew LSU has the guys to do that. You know that Garrett Nussmeier has a big arm. So I think that was what was kind of just you kind of hamstrung at that point when you're talking about, Dijon Johnson, Sharif Denson, Traquez Bridges, all great players. But without the true All-American level talent that Jason Marshall was, and a guy that's just a really solid all the way around defensive back like Devin Moore, and you don't have those guys, it hinders you a little bit in the secondary. So for what they had to work with, where this team is as far as the injury list being a mile long, I think they did a really, really good job against a pretty good LSU team. And I understand LSU's kind of on the downward trajectory. They've lost 3 straight now. They got beat up by Alabama, but I still think this is still a very talented LSU team. This is still a team that's probably going to win 8 games. And to get that win when you needed it the most back against the wall, I just love really we talked about, showing toughness and fighting. Now you have something to show for it. If you can fight and show toughness and grit and all that, and that's awesome. But when you're still taking L's in the column, it's just like, man, at some point that wears you out, both as a player and as a fan, because you're seeing a lot of good stuff, but you don't really have anything to show for it. And now you can hold your head high and say, we got LSU, we got this win. We gritted this thing out, and we have something to look back on and say this was not for nothing. This really means something. Just keep pulling on the rope.
Yeah. Go ahead, Wes. I know you had some things.
Yeah,
things you want to say.
I'll recap it real short. I was gonna get to Caleb Banks and the game he had, and I was
very much. Thank you for bringing that up because Caleb deserves his flowers.
And the turnovers things that I wanted to see, and we got was they fumbled twice really because we took the sack and then Tramell Jones, the big right tackle, tried to run too. Yeah, so that was key. And I'll recap. I just ended here with CJ's point. It got to a point where it was I was becoming insane because it seemed like the same thing would happen.
Wes has got weather in his area. All right. The weather's done got to Wes. He got some heavy storms in his area. So you're talking about the big right tackle. That ain't the first time an Emory Jones has turned the ball over on on the field out there. But anyway, I want to go back to something CJ was talking about, and I hate to sit here and just gush so much on DJ. But man, we're really blessed right now with what that young man is bringing to the table. And I don't know if everybody, I know a lot of people understand this because y'all have all watched football. But that young man, to be a true freshman, to be able to make some of the throws he makes at an SEC level, the touch pass down the right sideline to Badger, where he just kind of flipped his wrist and kind of lofted it in the air. And Badger had to make a heck of a catch to bring it in, but Badger was the only person going to make that catch. CJ talked about the offensive line. And if you go back and watch the breakdown, there were a few times the offensive line, the tackles were beat by a linebacker blitz. But DJ's ability to feel that and have that quick release, even if he didn't complete the pass, kept him out of the pressure. And a good quarterback like that makes your offensive line look better with that kind of read. And that's one of those things that Graham, for all his pluses, you know, it was a fault. Graham would maybe hold the ball too long, or, you know, or sometimes he'd obviously go with his first read and it'd be a short read and he wouldn't even take the risk. But, you know, I think that's just being a little gun shy. DJ is that guy that just makes every other guy on those other 10 guys on the offense, the linemen, the tight ends, the receivers, the running backs, all thrive. That play, the Jaden Baugh touchdown run, if you go back and look at that play was disgustingly drawn up. I don't know who draw that play up, but it is nasty. It looked like a broken play, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, it fooled me. I thought DJ turned the wrong way. I was like, oh, no.
That play was filthy. And kudos to those boys blocking in front of him. I mean, you know, continue to have me on the Hayden Hansen hype train. I will continue to sing his praises. I understand that's not Gronk out there, but he gets his job done. And there's something to be said for that. So I will continue to sing his praises. I think he will be very big for us going forward. If depending, and I say this with a very, you know, with an asterisk on it, on who's calling plays next year, whether it be Billy Napier, whether it be Russ Callaway, whether it be an offensive coordinator from out of the program. All of these things are options. I know we played this song and dance last year. We're going to play that song and dance into the spring. Well, I mean, I don't think it'll be, I think we'll know during the winter portal what we're doing, but it's up for debate. But anyway, enough with the LSU victory. Great win. Can't celebrate too long. Because a guy that a bunch of us, I'll include myself. I'm going to include myself in this. Had this man at the top of the coaching board, Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, come to town this weekend. But, you know, Billy's earning some praise right now. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be positive about it. And I'm going to support our head coach. If Scott Strickland can throw in his support, then I'm going to throw in mine because I'm a better man than Scott Strickland. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, enough of my subtle jabs. This is going to be a challenge. Not because I don't think Florida can win this football game. I do. If LSU and Kentucky beat Ole Miss, Florida on our field can beat Ole Miss. It can happen. Your challenges lie in you're still hurting in the secondary against a very good passing team. DJ Lagway is most likely still in a limited status versus a very good pass rushing team. There are matchups in this game that do not suit us like they did versus LSU. I'm not sitting here trying to say you should go ahead and just file this one in the L column. I'm just pointing out that there are deficiencies in places that we will have to scheme around in this game in order to win it. Now, and then you have to sit there and say, who do I want to take in this matchup, Lane Kiffin or Billy Napier? to draw up the better scheme. Obviously, the swamp does add something to that. CJ, what are your thoughts on this contest?
Yeah, the old saying, styles make fights, and if you look at Ole Miss's style as opposed to ours, it doesn't. I don't think it lines up super great. Not saying that it's a lost cause, but it's just there's a lot of things to be overcome at this point.
I forgot to mention that they're coming off a bye week as well.
Right, they've had a time.
So they're getting
rest.
healthy.
They've had a time to rest. Pete Golding has done a very good job with the defense there. Pete Golding, Ron Roberts from the same coaching tree. They know each other very well. Billy Napier, Lane Kiffin from the same coaching tree. They know each other very well. Charlie Weiss Jr. as well. So you're talking about a lot of familiarity in the building. So Billy knows what Lane's going to want to do, and Lane knows what Billy's going to want to do. It's just you got to look at just how the matchups are going to work. The only team that has hit more on deep ball percentage than us, I believe, is Ole Miss.
And East Carolina was close up there too, I believe.
Right.
Maybe.
So you look at a team like Ole Miss that is doing kind of similar to us, but I think Ole Miss does a lot of RPO stuff, a lot of the mesh concept stuff. Jackson Dart is much more mobile than Garrett Nussmeier. As far as trying to get him in the backfield. They got a great running back. Actually got a couple of good running backs. Of course, you talk about the wide receiver room. You talk about their tight end Prescorn, JJ Pegues, their big defensive end that they're also going to let run the ball on 4th and 1. It comes to 4th and 1, and that guy's got the football, and he matches up with Big Des Watts in the hole. I mean,
they might have to renovate the swamp the next day. I mean, those two hit each other.
The place is going to rattle. That's a lot of humanity, the irresistible object meeting the immovable force at that point. So it's going to be an interesting game. It is a noon game. They do have to travel. They got to come play in the swamp. That means something. You talk about time zone change. You talk about Mississippi heat. You talk about Florida heat. It's pretty much the same. As far as places that are super humid and, even at this point, of course, I do think it's going to be a little cooler in the swamp this weekend. A lot of, and that's still like 60 degrees. So, but, yeah, it's still going to be sticky. I've been to that place 100 times. It doesn't matter. But no, it's going to come down to, defense is going to have to get off the field. Giving Lane Kiffin 40 minutes of the game clock, like we did LSU, is not going to bode well for us if we can't get them off the field. So when you get in these third down situations, Florida's going to have to make the stops this time. You're going to have to execute. They're going to have to get a little aggressive, and if that means giving up a couple of deep shots, I think that you're just going to have to take that risk. You do look at Jackson Dart. He's a little trigger happy sometimes. He's a guy who's been known to throw an interception or two. It does happen. The defense is going to have to be there to take advantage of that. But like I said, the secondary is very beat up. I'm just curious to see how they respond, and also not to beat a dead horse or anything, but this team, since Billy Napier's been here, hasn't handled game over game momentum well. We look back at the big win against Utah, you lose next week to Kentucky. The big win against Tennessee last year, you lose the next week to Kentucky. Then you beat South Carolina on the road, big comeback win, feeling really good. You go into the bye week, and then you drop your next 5. That's what's going to have to be the measuring stick of, is this team really changing? Are we really progressing forward? They're going to have to show me that. Are we progressing? Billy Napier's only won 3 games in a row one time in his career here at Florida. That was McNeese, Tennessee, then Charlotte. So, yeah, not a super great winning streak. So I think that's going to have to happen this time. You're going to have to build on momentum, because capitalizing on momentum is important for a football team. It's important for recruiting. I think that it's just going to have to, you're going to have to show me that. If you really want me to believe that Billy Napier has this program headed the right way, it's going to start this weekend. And I'm not saying we got to beat Ole Miss, but don't show up and look outmatched. Make them have a game with you. Play 60 minutes. Make it look like at any point Florida could sneak around there and beat them. That's going to go a long way with me, as opposed to you just don't want to come out there and get embarrassed, because we should not get embarrassed at this point in the season. We know what's expected. We know what these guys are capable of. You play a lot of these teams. You play Tennessee nose to nose. You play Georgia nose to nose. You beat LSU. This is where it's going to have to show up. This is where all that hard work and that culture and all that, this is where the rubber meets the road for Billy Napier and the Florida Gators.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying there about, look, at some point you've got to show that you can maintain the momentum. That is the number one thing that I think has really defined Billy Napier's tenure so far, is not being able to maintain any form of momentum. And last year, you felt like you were going in the right direction. Then Arkansas happened. Obviously, the Kentucky game, but then the Arkansas game. And then you feel like you're getting it back against Missouri, and the whole thing happens again. And then, obviously Graham got hurt. I don't want to say it's a snake-bitten thing, because it is what it is. Like, you've got to have the talent. You've got to have the game plan, all of that. And we've seen time and time again that sometimes Billy Napier's worst enemy, more often than not, a lot, is himself. The Tennessee game. Think about how different we're talking about this season right now if we win that Tennessee game. And now we beat LSU. We're sitting here. We're at, 6-4. Chance to go 7-5, which we said at the beginning of this season. 7-5, he's got his job. There's not a problem. It is what it is with this schedule, yada, yada, yada. This season has been so weird, though. You come out the gate, you look dead. Then you come back and show, show all the fight that you've shown. You lose the Tennessee game, and I know Graham got hurt, and we can say if Graham hadn't got hurt, maybe we win that game, but we outcoached ourselves out of that game. It shouldn't even been in question at halftime. That game shouldn't have gone to overtime. It is what it is. The Georgia game, absolutely showed up. Went punch for punch, and I'm not talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul punch for punch. You went punch for punch. For 11 rounds, you bowed out even with Aiden Warner at quarterback. And then you go to Texas, you didn't even show up for the fight. It was like that guy that walked in and the bell rang and he ducked the ropes and walked back to the locker room. Like, it was just, and then you show back up for LSU and you go 12 rounds. Can you show up Saturday with momentum in your corner? And I know it's not some big wave of momentum. Obviously, it's not like you're on a 6-7 game win streak, but you've won a hard-fought ball game against a ranked team, shorthanded. You've gotten some recruits. Momentum is really going well right now in recruiting, where you might salvage this thing a little bit going into the transfer portal. And word on the street is you're going to go heavy in the portal on several positions of need. You've gotten financial backing from boosters. Hey, we're going to support you to go get the guys you need so that DJ Lagway can win football games next year. But guess what? If you go out Saturday and you don't show up and you look incompetent, and I'm not saying you're going to, I'm just saying you can't. You can't look like you looked in Austin Saturday at the Swamp. You have to be in the game in the fourth quarter. And then you end the season, you got to go to Tallahassee and just blow their doors off. I don't care what. We'll talk about that next week, but you need to go into Tallahassee, and your mindset walking in the stadium is we're dropping 50 points on these guys any way we can. Because that's momentum. So this is your chance, Billy Napier. Capitalize on momentum. We're not saying go out there and necessarily shock the world. Ole Miss is, I saw people today talking about Ole Miss is right there in their list of favorites maybe to play for the championship right now because they're peaking at the right time. And they're getting key players back too. Trey Harris will most likely be back for this game. That's a huge addition to a team that went out there and beat Georgia without him, their best offensive weapon. And as of today, I don't see Devin Moore playing in this game. Maybe a surprise pops up and he does. But you're still down to Dijon and Bridges, which means you're going to have the same basic plan probably you had against LSU, except like CJ said, Dart can move a little bit more. You've got to account for that. You might see Jaden Robinson play a little bit more. I know Pup Howard is supposed to be back this weekend. He got a high ankle sprain against Georgia. He tried to play in Texas, played 17 snaps, couldn't play anymore, skipped this game to try to heal up. Hopefully he's back this week. But, I mean, linebacker play has been fantastic. The two freshmen both look fantastic when they're on the field. The front seven has really, really impressed. The back four, including a young sophomore that Wes isn't here to eat some crow about, and we'll talk about that another day. But Mr. Castell, he's got to start earning his place on the roster too.
Credit to Gates. Shout out to Gates. Gates has played well. I'll give
Aaron
him
Gates.
his flowers.
Credit to Corey Raymond for sticking to his guns and wanting Aaron Gates on this football team. Because if it wasn't for Corey Raymond, Aaron Gates would not be on this football team. I mean, and then we can say whatever we want about Corey Raymond's evaluations for the few years he was here, but that was a Corey Raymond guy for you Paul Heyman fans out there. So that's what it comes down to, man. Can you capitalize on momentum? I would say right at this point, go out and have fun. Cut the ball loose. You're not playing for the SEC a chance to go to the championship. You're not playing for a chance to go to the playoffs. You can still win in Tallahassee and get a bowl game. Go out in this game and cut it loose, man.
Yeah, we're definitely not the team that's playing tight. LSU's got a lot more to lose than we do.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. I'm sorry. Ole Miss has got a lot more to lose than we do right now. I mean, they're going to be the ones that are playing tight. I mean, we ain't got nothing to lose. Go out there and ball. I mean, why not? Just so what you can do. You got these guys like Badger and Mizell and Hawkins and those guys, and they can run faster than anybody else. Just send them. Let's go.
This is a game. I'd scheme it up, man.
Absolutely.
If you could ever scheme it up and say, you know what? Now, I ain't saying go out there and run the double reverse pass.
Don't let Jaden Ball throw the ball. Don't do anything like that.
let that bastard stay in the back of the book, okay? But let's let Tank get the ball on an end around or something like that. Let Mizell run a fly. See how far DJ can just wing one out there, because I bet he can overthrow the coverage. Let Badger see if he can get 150 plus yards. I don't care. Do it. But have fun and don't lose momentum. All right, guys. That is pretty much going to do it. As far as our college pick'ems go for the season, we lost track doing all the things that happened. We didn't really lose track. CJ is once again the champion of the Respect Our Decision pick'ems. Wes finished second. Hirsch had a 3-7 week, the last week of the season, and is going to bow out in last place. I'm not even going to tally it up. I suck this year. I tried too hard. I don't know. Maybe it's time I got to quit betting on the Horned Frogs and things like that. And, I got to let some of these things go. Kind of like the Marco Wilson got let go this week. The same week we beat LSU. Maybe the curse is broken, guys. Maybe that's our FSU fan eating dog shit out of a Solo cup.
Jeez. All right.
Who knows how these things work?
Ooh.
Okay. Sports. We're due. CJ, what do you got for the folks before we get out of here?
No, just first and foremost, shout out to the seniors. This is senior day. These guys have played hard, been through a lot of crap. Shouts out to Wingo and Cam Jackson and Graham Mertz, those guys, all the seniors on the team. Jeremy Crawshaw, just a lot of guys who've seen a lot. They've been through a lot. They've stuck with it. They're still wearing the orange and blue. Congrats to you guys. Montreal Johnson, you guys ride off in the sunset, have a great last game. I'd love to see these guys get sent out with a win for a team that, of guys that didn't, like I said, just didn't have a lot of great stuff to celebrate in this time because we were in transition, but they stuck with it. These guys just love to be in Gators, and we need to show them love too, even though maybe some of them aren't guys that you see every week. They're not household names. They're not DJ Lagway. They're not Elijah Badger, but these guys played hard. They deserve all the credit in the world. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for Tramell Jones coming on the show. What a wonderful young man. What a guy that really has a great head on his shoulders. Super mature for his age. He's going to do a lot of big stuff with that attitude and that mindset. Half of it is attitude. Don't work for the job you have, work for the job you want. And he's says he's coming for that starting job. So that's the mindset I want in every quarterback that's in that room. If you got to be getting better.
I might have shortchanged him a little quick on that. Well, I was I thought I wasn't trying to set him up there, but he's got the right mindset for a quarterback, man.
Absolutely.
You've got to have it.
Thanks to Tramell for coming on the show. Share this with all your friends. You guys, you got Gator fans out there, and it's like, hey man, the new quarterback that committed to Florida, he's on the show. He's got a lot of cool stuff to say. Send it to your friends. Get the word out there that we got Tramell Jones on the show. Get really to know Tramell as a person. Know the quarterback you're getting. Leave a like and subscribe. That helps us out a ton. We're going to be doing as much of this stuff as we can get. We're going to do it. If we can get somebody on the show, we're going to get them on the show. So, like Absolutely. I said, but Hirsch said, leave your comments down below. Talk about how you feel about Tramell Jones. Send him some love. Show how much we really appreciate this guy taking a chance on us as a fan base. To just embrace these guys, no matter, we talked about earlier, you had a couple of 3-star guys commit. Don't worry about that. Embrace them, love them. They picked Florida. Let the coaches coach and the players play.
Absolutely, guys. To echo CJ, thank you so much to Tramell Jones for joining us, man. What a pleasure. Can't say enough good things about him or his father, Tramell Jones Sr. Like I said, quality man that mentors kids over in Jacksonville, as he explained it to me. And you can tell the influence he's had on his son. What a tremendous young man. Thank you all for your support as always. Thank you for sticking by us as we were gone for a few weeks there. We're back in the saddle. Hopefully some good recruiting news to start picking up on as we get closer to early signing day, the winter portal, coaching changes, all that kind of stuff. The news never stops. We know how it goes. So we're going to keep going. Then baseball season will roll around the corner, and CJ will be happy about life again.
I think we got 86 days to baseball season. So
yes, sir. So
firing it up.
Good. Be looking. We'll probably start a GoFundMe for Wes to have a new internet. I don't know what we're going to do there. Poor Wes. I love him.
I got to tweet at Elon Musk to see if we can get Starlink at his house.
Maybe something. My God, please help Wes. Help Wes's internet. Say a prayer tonight when you lay down. Thoughts and prayers for Wes's internet. But until then, guys, hopefully the momentum keeps rolling. Thank you for watching. Go Gators.
Go Gators.